South Korea, an economy powered by soft power. South Korea does not only export cars and electronics, it exports culture. The Korean wave, often called Hallyu, has become a multi-billion-dollar economic engine. Groups like BTS and Blackpink are not just entertainers, they are cultural ambassadors. Shows like Squid Game are not just entertainment, they function as global marketing tools for Korean creativity, fashion, language, and lifestyle. Southeast Asia is one of the strongest markets for K-pop, Korean dramas, and beauty products. Also for fashion brands, consumer electronics, and tourism. In economic terms, fans are not just fans, they are consumers. And consumers drive revenue. When online conflicts erupt, the risk is not just emotional backlash, it's shifting consumer behavior. Southeast Asia, a market that cannot be ignored. Southeast Asia represents over 650 million people, with a young and rapidly growing middle class. Digital engagement is high. Social media penetration is massive. South Korean brands are deeply embedded in this region. Companies such as Samsung, Hyundai Motor Company, and LG Corporation operate heavily across Southeast Asian markets. Meanwhile, Korean cosmetics and entertainment industries depend significantly on regional consumers. If negative sentiment turns into coordinated boycotts or long-term distrust, financial consequences become possible. Not catastrophic, but measurable. Potential economic effects. 1. Cultural consumption slowdown. Fan culture is emotional. Emotional markets are volatile. If Southeast Asian audiences feel insulted or unwelcome, they may reduce streaming activity. They may also reduce concert attendance, merchandise purchases, and brand engagement. The Korean entertainment industry generates billions annually. Even a small percentage drop in major regional markets can impact revenue streams. It may not collapse the industry, but soft power relies on affection. And affection, once damaged, requires rebuilding. 2. Tourism impact. Before the pandemic, millions of tourists visited South Korea annually. Southeast Asia has been a significant contributor. If public perception shifts toward unwelcoming or racially insensitive, travel decisions may change. Tourism is highly sensitive to perception. Fewer visitors, reduced spending, and impact on airlines, hotels, retail, and local businesses. Cities like Seoul depend on their image as modern, inclusive, and globally friendly. Repeated controversy can erode that narrative. 3. Brand reputation pressure. Global corporations do not ignore sentiment trends. When accusations of racism trend internationally, companies monitor social media analytics. They also monitor brand favorability metrics and regional sales fluctuations. Firms like Samsung, Hyundai Motor Company, and LG Corporation do not want association with discrimination narratives. In response, they may launch inclusivity campaigns and increase public relations efforts. They also invest in diversity messaging and strengthen local partnerships. Reputation management costs money, and in the global economy, brand perception directly influences valuation. 4. Competitive opportunities for others. Markets are competitive ecosystems. If Korean brands face backlash, competitors benefit. Chinese, Japanese, Western, and even emerging Southeast Asian brands could position themselves as alternatives. Consumer loyalty is strong until it isn't. When emotion shifts, market share can quietly move. Will this destroy South Korea's economy? Short answer, no. South Korea's economy is heavily supported by semiconductor exports, automotive manufacturing, and shipbuilding. Also by advanced technology and global trade networks. Online conflict does not shut down semiconductor plants. It does not cancel global supply contracts overnight, but soft power is different. Soft power is trust, attraction, cultural admiration. If repeated social controversies accumulate, they can weaken long-term influence, and influence has economic value. The reality of digital conflicts. Most online conflicts follow a pattern: viral moment, emotional peak, media amplification, gradual fading. Social media algorithms reward outrage. Loud voices dominate timelines. Silent majorities remain invisible. Often, the scale of the digital war appears larger than its real-world economic impact. However, corporations do not dismiss data trends. Even a temporary dip in brand sentiment enters quarterly reports. Yes, hashtags eventually disappear, but analytics remain. Worst case scenario. If online tensions escalate into organized mass boycotts, political pressure, diplomatic friction, and international media campaigns, then economic effects could deepen. Historically, consumer boycotts have hurt industries in multiple countries when tied to strong political backing. However, most netizen conflicts rarely escalate to sustained institutional action. Most likely scenario, the issue trends globally, public discussions intensify, companies release statements, and influencers attempt de-escalation. Attention shifts to a new topic, markets stabilize, sales fluctuate briefly, the digital storm passes. The long-term perspective. South Korea faces structural challenges beyond online disputes, aging population, global semiconductor competition, and economic dependence on exports. Also regional geopolitical tensions. A netizen war over racism is not its primary economic threat, but repeated perception issues can weaken international goodwill over time. Goodwill translates into tourism growth, cultural exports, foreign investment, and talent attraction. Losing goodwill is expensive, not instantly, but gradually. The bigger insight. Modern economies are built on three pillars: trust, reputation, and global connectivity. Racism accusations attack trust. Online wars attack reputation. Yet, as long as tensions remain social, not institutional or diplomatic, the macroeconomic structure remains stable. The real risk lies not in one trending conflict. The risk lies in patterns. Patterns shape perception. Perception shapes consumption. And consumption shapes revenue. Final conclusion. A digital conflict between Southeast Asian netizens and South Korea over racism is unlikely to collapse South Korea's economy. However, it can affect cultural industries, influence tourism sentiment, and pressure global brands. It can also shift consumer loyalty. Money rarely disappears overnight, but trust can erode slowly. And in a globalized economy, trust is capital. Ignore that, and the bill eventually arrives. Handle it wisely, and the crisis becomes an opportunity for stronger cross-cultural understanding. In today's world, economic resilience is not just about factories. It's about perception. And perception spreads faster than ever.